Did that sound like Toad screaming a royal entrance? Because that was the impression I was going for. I feel like that was kind of spot on. It also sort of sounds like a mating call. I'm not really sure, though. I hope it isn't. You know, I don't need some like random animal coming in my door and like licking my feet. I don't know why it would do that, though. But I'm not really sure why I would do that or why I said that. I don't know why I say a lot of things. But here we are. It's the 100th episode of the show. How glorious. We have cake. We have kake. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I'm realizing this is not a one-hand activity. Hold on. I almost dropped it. Here you go. There's the cake. Not a strawberry shortcake. And it is kind of a shortcake. I don't know if they did that on purpose or if, you know, they probably didn't. It was like $13. I don't think they care that much. But, you know, I don't think they're thinking of that. And we have candles and a lighter, and we're going to light this bitch up, you know? Or maybe not. Actually, well, I don't know if that's such a good idea with all the electrical equipment that's strung around me right now. Oh my God. Is my frontal lobe developing? That was so mature. But do I care about my health and well-being? Oh, I must be an adult. I care about myself? No, we're still going to do it. But I just like that I had the idea that, you know what? I shouldn't do that, and that's a bad idea. But I'm a careful, mature adult who could light candles next to giant confetti poppers that are huge, man. I bought these. Listen, I know 99% of you listen. I tried to get more. Listen to me. If you're a little bit underwhelmed by the background, I had these background banners, and they look terrible. They looked horrible. I had like this glitter. I had these they look bad. They looked really bad. I threw it out. I thought it was pointless. I think I have one over there. Do I? Yeah, I have one over here. It was just like this little. It was like this. It was supposed to be like this fringe curtain thing. It was like silver. I thought it would give a nice little bit to the backdrop. There was just a lot of light hitting it, and I thought I was gonna have a seizure. It was a lot. There was a lot happening. There was just a lot light hitting it. And honestly, I felt like that alone would have caused YouTube to put like a seizure warning on my video, and I don't need that. We don't need that. Nobody wants that. There were too many lights. I didn't realize that maybe there were a few too many windows where I sit, and yeah, it was too much, and it was really bothering me, and it looked like something was going to light on fire, even though we are going to light something on fire anyways. The confetti cannons, what I was saying though is that 99% of you listen and only like 1% of you watch, and not that you guys don't matter. That's not what I'm saying. I just mean that like I was trying to get things that I could explain well through audio, instead of just like, right, because I thought a confetti cannon was a good idea because I could burst all of your eardrums on the way to work. Apparently, I thought that was gonna. Oh yeah. Oh, what will the listeners love? Probably a live fucking grenade in their ears, Anthony. Why don't you blow the speakers out the back of their fucking car? Oh no, I want to celebrate, but how will the listeners get involved? Maybe I do ASMR with the cake in my mouth, and then. And then count down from 10, and any point in between me getting from 10 to 1, I blow off one of the confetti cannons in your ear. Oh, my God. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be blowing this off. I don't know. What do the instructions say? Step? Well, why does it start on step 2? Do not question the great popper. What? What was that? Where's step 1? Shh. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. Guys, I've been watching the Avatar a lot. This feels like they're hiding something from me. Why is there no step 1? Step 2, firmly grasp upper tube with one hand and lower tube with other hand. Step 3, with hands firmly grasping tube, follow the arrows and twist both halves in opposite. Okay, but what's step 1? Step 1. Where's step 1? Somebody just breaks into my house. They throw a bag over my head and throw me in the back of a fucking van. We do not speak of step 1, child. Shh, 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 shh. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Shh, 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 shh. You seem like a nice man, but we must kill you now. No. I knew this would happen. It was all because of my toad mating call. They showed up. They just wanted to kiss my feet, and they found me asking about step 1, and they threw a bag over my head, and they said no one could hear from him again. Damn it. I really want to... Should we blow it off? Should we? Okay. Well, first of all, let me tell you what we're doing in the show before I don't like this thing pointing near my face. Jesus. Or in between my legs. Actually, I don't know why I put it there. Oh, man. Should I blow it off in between my legs so it looks like I got really excited for the 100th episode? No, that's gross and disgusting. Who would even say something like that? Guys, in today's episode, somebody gave me a good idea. I was going to do more like, I was going to do... I had a lot of ideas, okay? I had a lot of different ideas for the show, for the 100th episode, but I was like, I want to make it special, but then I started putting too much pressure on it, and I was like, everything's got to be perfect, but then I was like, no, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's just got to be good, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Long story short, I landed on, somebody had an idea where they said to do like 100 different things, or like come up with 100 things and then do that for the 100th episode. That would have been 6.5 hours. I can't do that because I can't talk about something for 30 seconds and just move on. Okay. I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of opinions. I have a lot of things that I need to get off my fucking chest. I can't just keep it moving. Okay. So instead we did 50 things, which I honestly think is too much anyways, but 50 things. We're going to get through all 50. If for some reason I speed through, we will go into other things, into our notes, some fan questions and things of that nature. If not, don't worry. We'll get to it next week. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. The show's not ending on the 100th episode. Now, before we get into everything, guys, thank you so much for listening. If this is your first episode or if this is your 100th episode, God damn it, I love you. Thank you for staying with me through thick and thin, the ups and downs. Should this 100th episode have came like a year ago? Yeah, should have. Yeah, if I stayed consistent every single week, but it didn't. And I want to get mad at myself for that, and I should, because what the hell? But at the same time, you know what? It's 100 episodes. We can't dwell on the past. We're looking towards the future. We're staying positive, and we're living harmoniously with one another, and we're standing together in harmony, and we're loving each other, and we're holding one another, and we're breathing. And we're breathing through each other. And we're breathing through each other because we are one. Every time I breathe, you breathe. We are breathing through each other because we are one. I don't really know where that bit was going, but I just wanted to do that voice. All right, let's get into the 100 things, but except it's 50. So it's actually 100 minus 50, okay? And I'm going to get a bite of cake. Oh, that's a nice strawberry right there. That's going right in my pie hole. I already ate like half this bitch. That is so good. I'm not going to eat in your ear. Okay. Number 1. An edible, 2 glasses of wine in a Pixar movie. You want to fucking go into a deep fucking shell of relaxation? Do you want to go in? This will get rid of any negative demons that have latched themselves to your your chi, to your inner chi. They're going to disperse. They're going to be afraid. They're going to run away. Now, that might be solely because of the edible, and you might want to run away and tear off your own skin as well, but that's just the beauty, and that's just the beauty and the balance of the edible. That is the circle of life with the edible. Sometimes you take an edible, you sit on the couch, and you feel like you're floating on a cloud, and sometimes you take an edible, you sit on the couch, and you're worried that the couch wants to eat you and feed it to its baby couches, which is the ottoman at your feet. Okay. Sometimes you feel like the couch turns into a big bird and now you're in the nest and it's going to feed it to its babies. Not that I've had a similar experience, but well, maybe I have. I don't know. There was actually one time I took too much. There was one time I took a bunch of edibles when I went to go see Avatar front row in 3D. I thought it was going to be the try not to blow my mind challenge. It was actually the try not to throw up in my popcorn bucket challenge for 2.5 hours. It was every time they got close, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then everything was so blue and it was making me nauseous. And funny enough, sort of a full circle moment for me because when I was younger, fun story for you. See, this is why I can't do, this is number 1. Okay, this is number 1. We have 49 left. I'm not going to shut the fuck up. This is going to be a while. So anyways, that's why I couldn't do 100 if you're wondering. But anyways, when I was super young, it was one of the first movie, I think the first movie ever that I saw in 3D. And I'll never forget it. I was like 9 years old. And at this time, I still wasn't good with like blood and things like that. But my parents thought This is like, I don't even think my parents thought they're like, Avatar, do they even have like real blood? Like, I don't even know if avatars have real. I can't remember from the movie, but this was forever ago, okay? And they were like, it's in 3D, it's like PG-13, but they're like, we'll take him. Like, he's gonna love it. It's probably just action. And I shit you not, I was completely fine the whole movie. They even had like in the beginning there was like medical stuff, but I was fine with it. There wasn't anything gory or anything abrupt that was throwing me off. I shit you not. There's a scene, if you haven't seen Avatar, the first one, where the guy who becomes the Avatar and is learning the ways of the Avatar, the thing you have to do is like your hair or something like that connects with the hair on a horse and they like interlock and that's how you tame it. Or it's not a horse, it's like a flying horse, whatever. It doesn't really matter what it is. I shit you not. They did such a close-up zoom in 3D of this fucking thing. They like intertwined and it looked like they were intertwining nerves, and it was so graphic and intimate that I immediately threw up in my popcorn. I was in the back of Avatar, and they connected, and everyone around me was like, wow, that's beautiful, and I'm like, wow, I'm gonna hurl. And I ran out of the theater, and of course, right up until that point, I ate half a bucket of popcorn, and I chugged it in giant large Slurpee, and I'll never forget looking in the toilet. It was like it was blue raz everywhere. Everything was blue. I threw up all over myself that I became the Avatar. I was looking in the mirror and I was like, and then I threw up again because I thought the Avatar came with me. I was horrified. Oh my God. But anyways, an edible, 2 glasses of wine, and a Pixar movie, okay? That will change your fucking life. And with the edible, don't go outside, okay? Stay inside. Don't go outside with an edible. Inside, you have like a 50-50 chance that you're either going to have a great night or you're going to freak the fuck out in your own home, okay? Outside, there's about 100% chance that you're going to freak the fuck out if you're on edible and you go outside. It's a bad idea. Don't go outside on edibles, okay? Bad idea. Number 2, my Hatch alarm clock. I love this fucking thing. I don't know what I would do without it. My sister bought it for me for Christmas. It's a sunrise alarm clock, which is beautiful in the winter. Not so much now because the sun's out, you know. But in the winter, it's great because, you know, you get your circadian rhythm gets thrown off, and with the sun and the clouds, and, you know, it doesn't feel as natural. That was beautiful through the winter, but now it's sort of it's really now it's more just like a glorified sound machine, which is fine, which is great. And the thing is that the sounds on there, they're so soothing, they're so great, and I love it so much. And there's one sound on there that I thought was going to be a little bit more intricate. It was like the storm, like I think it was like thunderstorm at sea, and I thought it was going to be like whoosh, and like there was going to be a captain in the background like, "There she blows, batten down the hatches, man," which I don't, you know, honestly, in hindsight, I don't know why I wanted to fall asleep to that. Like grown men yelling at me and begging for their lives with like water flowing everywhere. I'm not exactly sure why that was something that I wanted to listen to while I sleep, but I expected something more. Some of the sounds on there just sound a little basic. That's all I'm going to say, but I do love it. I mostly listen to just like heavy thunderstorm, but I wanted to get the sea involved, and I really thought it was going to be something like cinematic. Because obviously I knew it wouldn't have been real, but like I wanted a little bit of theatrics. And I thought that would help me fall asleep, knowing that like I wanted to feel like I was in the hull of a boat in the middle of the sea in a deep storm, unsure if I'm going to make it out alive. And all right, actually this is a me problem. Who would want that? Why would they make something like that? Oh yeah, this sleep sound, this makes you feel like you're going to drown alive. Yeah. This makes you feel like you're going to drown and never see your family again. Oh, okay. Interesting. Do you have one that possibly transform? Maybe if the Hatch alarm clock could turn into a miniature transformer and choke me to death in my sleep. Get up, boy. That honestly would be a great addition to alarm clock if there was an alarm clock that turned into a mini transformer. And it just like it would start going off, and it would hold like a gun to your head, and it would be like 10 more seconds, 10 more seconds apiece before I blow a hole in your fucking brain, boy. 10 more seconds apiece before I blow a hole right in the center of your fucking cranium. oh my God, I'm sorry, alarm clock. I try and put it on snooze. And it just hits me and makes me do 10 push-ups while it sits on my back. You didn't go all the way down, motherfucker. I didn't see you touch your chest to your fucking dick. Now drop and give me 30, soldier. Well, the way the country's going, there might be a small miniature transformer threatening my life if I don't follow the rules. So maybe I shouldn't wish for that. Oh, man. Happy 4th, guys. I think this comes out on that, right? Happy 4th, guys. Anywho, my Hatch alarm clock. It's beautiful. It's really great. You should try it out. God, I am not going to get through 50. I have a problem, man. I can't shut the fuck up. Number 3, portable music. I don't really have much to say about that. I think it's just wonderful that we have music 24/7 and we get to pick and choose whatever we want with the streaming. Now, I hate streaming? Yeah. Do I think that all of them are fucking over artists? Yeah. Do I think that Spotify apparently now has an AI ban on there and I'm going to have to switch and go to Apple Music, even though Apple Music is probably like, oh, I don't know, like a funding a regime collapse somewhere in the Middle East? Yeah, probably. You know, it's hard to be a good consumer. You know, it's hard. But AI, you know, some things are so abrupt that's where you could draw the line because there's so many different lines in the sand that I don't even know where the lines are anymore. They just keep drawing new lines, one after the other. They're like, well, here's the line. And then they step over and they're like, well, that one didn't really matter. And then they draw another line. That's how the world feels right now, you know, especially with Diddy. They didn't even get him on the fucking RICO charge. And he's basically, I think he's getting a bail or something like that. I don't know everything about it. I'm so much for the justice system. Right? And it's like, that's how the world feels right now. They draw a line in the fucking sand, and then they're like, well, that line didn't really matter. And then they draw another line. It's like, well, what? Then there's no line. Then there's no line. If you keep drawing new lines, then there was never a line, and the respect to the line was never even there. You didn't even care for the line. The line was public theatrics. The line is public theatrics until you change your mind, and there's a new one that you fucking steamroll into this crap. And then you blame other people. Ugh, I'm not talking about that. This is the 100th episode. I'm not getting into that right now. I got to stay focused on my 50 things here. Okay? Because I'm really not staying locked in. Portable music. Fantastic. Number 4, physical buttons. I love them. I hate that everything is a screen now. I want to slam my head into a screen. I hate that everything's a screen. I like to click. I like clicking buttons so much that when I'm playing video games, sometimes I'm not even sure if I like a new game that I'm playing or if I really just like clicking the buttons on the controller. I don't even know. That's how much I like clicking those fucking buttons. They're so fun. They're click, click. There's something so satisfying about clicking the buttons. You know what's not satisfying? Hitting a touchscreen all day. I want to feel something. I want to feel like my finger touching something made something happen. Sometimes I'll get in an elevator and I just click. I don't even have to go anywhere. I just want to hit those buttons. I just want to push those buttons. Sometimes I hop in an elevator, I don't have anywhere to be. I just want to click the buttons. So, you know, there's something about clicking buttons that feels the analog feeling. When everything had buttons and it was bulky and it's clicky and God, take me back. Take me back to the time where you could look at anything and everything and you could click a button, man. Old DVD player, in, out. Nice, firm click. It feels like it did something. It feels like you made a difference. Okay? It feels like you changed lives. Now everything's like surface touch. Oh, just swipe your finger. I want to click it. No, just wave your hand. I want to touch it. I want to get my grubby little paws all over it. I thought that would have went away when I was a toddler, right? Well, all those little toddlers are like, I want to touch this and that. Little did we know, adults have that same thing as well, but we didn't know that all the electronics and all the different things that were coming out in the consumer products that were coming out at that time all had buttons on it. And you're like, oh, well, that's just my VCR. But secretly, you love clicking that fucking button, don't you? Right? Feels good. Makes you feel like a powerful makes you feel like a big boy, doesn't it? Like a big, strong man that can make shit happen at any time. Doesn't it? That's how it makes me feel. Anytime I click a nice firm button on like an old DVD player and that tray pops out and I throw that disc in there and it goes right back in, makes me feel like I'm just a motherfucker who could make shit happen at any fucking time. Any fucking time. I can make shit happen. That's how physical buttons make me feel. It's so satisfactory. I like when I click something happens. I don't like that everything's a touchscreen. And oh, I touched it and I made it happen. I have haptic feedback on all my devices that have it because I need some sense of that I did something. I don't want just a visual cue. I want to feel something. I want to feel something. Damn it. I want to feel it. I want to feel something. And I don't mean electrocuted. I mean purpose. The buttons give me purpose. And I don't know why. Well, that was a little aggressive. Maybe not purpose, but they give me joy and contentness and happiness in a way. More physical buttons. That's what I want in this life. Next one, number 5, Mario 3-on-3 Hoops on the Nintendo DS. I don't have anything else to say about that. If you don't know what it is, you don't know what it's about, then you never heard of it. If you have a Nintendo DS somewhere, fuck it. If you don't have a Nintendo DS, go on eBay, get a used one for like $40. Buy Mario 3-on-3 Nintendo DS Hoops. Mario 3-on-3 Hoops. It'll change your fucking life. I'll never forget the day I first picked up that video game. It was fantastic. All right, number 6, every SpongeBob game made on the PlayStation 1 and 2. That's it. Number 7, LeBron. I don't know how I could make a list of anything and not include LeBron. I don't know how anyone could make a list about anything that ever happened in history and not connect it back to LeBron Raymond James. I'm not really sure how that's even possible. I'm sure there's some people listening and they're like, what are you talking about, Jordan? Jordan's the GOAT. What did you say? First of all, I didn't even bring up anything about LeBron being the GOAT because he is and everybody knows it for a fact. Okay? LeBron being the GOAT is like, oh, is the sky blue? Of course it is. It's not even a question. It's a fact of life. Oh, is LeBron the greatest basketball player of all time? I don't know. Is the sky blue? Exactly. That's how I feel about LeBron. Number 8, nostalgia / hopeless core TikTok slideshow videos. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Hope Core. Not really my speed. I don't love that. I don't really feel an emotional pull towards the hope, apparently. But the hopeless / nostalgia core, like I love the ones where it's like a slideshow and like the title is like what I see as I'm bleeding out in the snow in World War III, and the blood starts to feel really warm and nice, like a forever nap. And then it's just like a slideshow of different. This is sounding graphic and morbid, actually. Now that I'm saying this out loud, it sounds better in my head. It's just it's something about. It's not about the bleeding out in the snow part so much. It's more so about the pictures that follow, like Christmas cookies and like those old digital cameras where like the quality's not that good. But it feels like, why would you need the quality to be any better? Because life's so good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the picture in and of itself has colors that I haven't seen since I was a child. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the world used to look like it was through the lens of an old digital camera that was blown out with too much contrast, but that just meant that the colors were so bright and so beautiful. And I love just scrolling through those with the most depressing music you've ever heard. And God, it's just fucking, it's so good. It's so good. Take me back. Take me back. I need to go back to those days. But that's number 8. That I don't think I can live without those. Like every time they say TikTok's going away, the first thing that comes to my mind isn't like, oh my God, my TikTok page. The first thing that comes to mind is, what am I going to do without those violently depressing, nostalgic slideshows that these people are making on TikTok? What am I going to do without them? Next up, number 9, dispensaries. The fact that you could just walk in somewhere and tell somebody, hey, I'm trying to figure out, I really need to sleep. And then they'll look you straight in your eyes and be like, try devil's sperm mixed with a little bit of Satan's scrotum. And they'll look you dead in your face and be so serious, and then you'll sleep like an angel. I love those people. The dispensary is fantastic. It's a wonderful place to be. It's a fantastic place to be. I love it there. Number 10, The Alchemist, the book. I read this. I think the first time I read it was right before I started making. This is a little sentimental. I know, guys. Sorry. But this was the first time that I started making any videos. I think I read it right before I decided that I was going to start making TikTok videos or something like that. And it was the first time I ever started posting anything or anything of that nature on the internet and really putting myself out there. I read The Alchemist. I don't know what it was about it. I mean, the book is good. It's a great book. I mean, it's not like the greatest book ever or anything like that, but it's probably one of my favorite books, not necessarily because of the content, but because of the sentimental value to it. That, like, I remember reading this, and really, if you never read it, it's really just about, it's a book, not to give the plot away, but it's really just, I think the simplest way to put it, it's a book about the journey rather than the destination. That's really all it is. That's all I'm going to give you. If you want to read it, I highly suggest. If you're creative at all, I think it's a good book. It's a quick read. I think you could read it in a day or a weekend. You could read it in a weekend for sure. I think I read it in a day, but it was a while. But you could read it in 2 days, I think, in a weekend. And it was one of those books that just, every time I see it on my shelf, well, that's not true. I don't have a bookshelf. I keep them in boxes because I don't know. The boxes actually now have cost more than a bookshelf at this point. But that's not really what we're talking about, is it? But The Alchemist, there's just something about that book that's so beautiful. And I highly suggest that you should read it. And it lit something on fire underneath myself. And I don't know. I mean, I like to think that I still would have ended up here, but it also pushed me. I think it also pushed me to start getting here and having 100 episodes of a podcast and doing all this full time and having you guys as wonderful fans and wonderful listeners. And thank you so much for listening. Seriously. So The Alchemist, although that was number 10 on the list, and these aren't in any order specific, obviously. I'm just saying this was just so that I remember what number I'm on. But The Alchemist, this number right here, this is more so just like a thank you to you guys. And this is saying I'm grateful to you guys. Seriously, I am. Not to get sentimental on you guys, not to make you cry, but seriously, you guys stuck through it thick and thin, ups and downs. Missed a few months worth of episodes, then I make a few episodes, and the ones who stuck by, and the ones who are brand new, thank you. And hopefully many more to come. Number 11, African weaver ants. I got really high one night and I watched a 45-minute YouTube video on them. I don't really know why. And I don't even know how I comprehended any of it. They are fantastic creatures. Ants are unbelievable. And they're everywhere, but specifically the African weaver ants. Dude, they take the silk. The newborns I believe they're wrapped in some sort of like silk cocoon before they're born. And they use that. They live in the trees. And they wrap the silk around leaves and branches and make these intricate homes. And then they speak to one another. They have a language. Do you know how fucking crazy that is? Every time I see an ant now, I feel like it understands me. The ants, they have so all ants could communicate, right? But the African weaver ants, I believe, have the most complicated system of language in a way. So what they do is they use pheromones, right, that mean different things, but they also use hand signals. They're using sign language. The ants, and then not only, right, so they have sign language for some things, right? We're just going to call it sign language, but like they're moving their antennas and stuff like that, or like they're touching each other with two antennas, but it's basically sign language, okay? So don't relax. So they're doing sign language. Then they also have pheromones where they release different pheromones and it means different things. But then they also have communication systems where they'll leave a pheromone trail, but then if they follow it up with a specific hand gesture, then it means a completely different phrase. They have a distinct hierarchy, right? There's the queen, and then there's the ones that guard her, and then there's the workers, and then there's the ones that do this, and then there's one, and they have different sizes of them, and they purposefully birth different size. They are doing eugenics, okay? They are on some level. These ants, and now it's evolutionary genetics, okay, because they've evolved to be able to do this. But in a way, they are doing eugenics. They have advanced communication systems between one another. And then on top of that, they have a next man up mentality. Like, yes, they are a colony and they all work together in unison. But at the same time, if one of them goes down, it's next man up and they don't give a fuck. I'm pretty sure there even are some ants if I remember correctly from what I was watching, there are some ants that their whole, like, they know if there's a danger or if they have to do something, they will sacrifice themselves and they are willing to do it. They will do it, no questions asked, to keep the queen safe and lose the least amount of casualties. They will sacrifice themselves. That is, they have advanced communication. They have a distinct hierarchy system. They're basically doing eugenics, okay? And they have that next man up mentality, and they don't give a fuck when another one dies. Yet they work in perfect unison. And honestly, my first thought was, wow, nature's incredible. My second thought was, wow, I'm a little worried that any government's going to find out about this and think that the way that they run their society is a good idea. And you know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit worried that dangerous people are going to learn about this and be like, wow, I didn't think of that. No. But it's beautiful and nature's beautiful. But at the same time, I'm a little worried that there's some people who might learn about those ants. But at the same time, I don't think dangerous, maniacal people are learning about African weaver ants high as fuck at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday. I don't think so. And we could only hope that they don't. Otherwise, well, that wouldn't be too good, would it, guys? Number 12, octopus. I fucking love those things. That's all I'm saying on that. We need to keep it moving. Number 13, modern medicine. We don't acknowledge how great that is as often as we should. You know what I'm saying? Eye doctors. Do you know what I would be doing without an eye doctor? Just fumbling around. Just really, just hoping for the best. Do you know what I would do without an eye doctor? Just pray. I would just hope for the best. Yeah. Just hope and pray. Yeah. I wouldn't know where the fuck I was going. Wouldn't be able to read shit. Wouldn't be able to see any signs in the side of the street. It's incredible. Okay? Modern medicine, fucking incredible. We don't talk about it. I couldn't live without modern medicine. And I think later I put down modern plumbing. But we'll get to that. But still, modern medicine, I couldn't live without it. If I had a migraine with nothing to ease the pain, I would beg the doctor to kill me. I would beg the doctor to kill me. I would beg the doctor to kill me. And the guy outside who's mowing his lawn right now on a Friday at 1:29 in the afternoon. No, it's a Thursday at 1:29. By the way, guys, I'm recording this on Thursday and I have to turn this around on Friday. Did not mean to do this on purpose. It was because I was waiting for the confetti cannons, which are way too big. And I was waiting for the fringe curtains, which looked absolutely terrible. So I'm so happy I waited for them. And yeah, so a few things were on back order. Listen, I meant to record this on Wednesday, but then shit happens, guys. Shit happens. And here we are. And well, anyhow. Number 14, La La Land. I love the end of the movie. I love that. Spoiler alert, skip 10 seconds. I love that they don't end up back together. I know that's sick and cruel, but I love it. La La Land is one of my favorite movies because it's realistic, okay? That's why I love it. I love that they don't end up together. I said it! That's why I like the movie. I like it. I don't like, okay, because it's realistic. It's real life, damn it. Yeah, sure, everybody wants a fairy tale ending, but sometimes, most people don't. They move on. Life moves on. They love each other. Sure, they were meant to be together, but then they didn't, and it's beautiful. It makes what they had hold so much more weight. Oh, yeah, if they built a family together and had children and all that jazz, fuck you. That's not real life. That doesn't happen. Well, sometimes it happens. Oh, well, the Notebook, it's so beautiful. They died in each other's arms. They died staring into each other's soul as he played the piano and he played their song. And the husband doesn't know a damn thing. That's what I love about it. He doesn't even understand it. But they have this connection and it'll never be broken, but they know that they have to lead different lives. It's beautiful. That's art. Not, oh my God. Oh, he kissed the princess, then they live happily ever after. Fuck no. The princess, they both live happily ever after. They both live out their dreams, but not together. And that's the sick world that we live in. Fuck. Either they both live together and never accomplish a dream, but they have each other, or they have the dreams, but they can't have each other. It's like a sick riddle. That's why I love it. It's so good. And the reason I love it is because of how it makes me feel. It makes you feel such a way. And so many people don't like it because they're like, well, they don't end up together. Yeah, because that's not real life, fucker. That's not real life, fucker. That's why I love it. Because it's cruel and it's sickening, and sometimes the world is too. And that's why I like it. Moving on. Number 15, conversation pits. God, those are incredible. It mixed with together number 16, skylight windows together. They're best together. They're best together in one unit. They're best together. Skylight windows, conversation pit, change. That's what I need. If I don't have that in my future home, I'm going to freak the fuck out. I need it. The conversation pit, it's so welcoming. Like if I walked into a home and I saw a conversation pit, I'd be like, oh my God. These people are so welcoming. Now, it also sort of gives me the vibe that like a lot of people would probably try to have an orgy on it and do a lot of miscellaneous things on it, you know, and maybe you know, which I don't love, you know what I'm saying? But it's just so like the conversation pit. It's so welcoming with the skylight overhead, so beautiful. I don't know what it is about it, but I love it. It feels so open, feels so free. Like, yeah, there's just a giant hole in the middle of my living room that's sort of like the center of it all. It feels like the heartbeat of the home. And that's beautiful. And I don't know why I like it so much. But it feels like the heartbeat of the home. And then the skylight shining down on it just feels like, it's like the heavens are pouring down onto the heart of this. And it's giving everything life. Listen, God, it's beautiful. And I love it so much. Number 17, a 1988 BMW E30. I just love that car. Number 18, prime Derrick Rose. If you don't know anything about basketball, prime Derrick Rose. I'm from Chicago. Derrick Rose was a Chicago Bull. Okay. That was the most joy I ever felt as a child watching sports, period. Well, because I wasn't that into hockey. So the Blackhawks, we did have good teams. But basketball, I love basketball. And when Derrick Rose was in the NBA, he was just so shifty, so beautiful. And the fact that he had so many injuries that destroyed his career. God, if I ever seen him, I just want to grab him. I just want to give him a big old hug, man. And I don't think he'll like that. I think he'll try and hit me and push me away and be like, why is this strained man straddling me like a wild sloth right now? And why is he sobbing into my shirt? I'm like crying all over him. Derrick Rose. I'm like, the rose that grew from the concrete. That's you, man. God, I love Derrick Rose. I think about him quite often. Number 19 and number 20 and number 21 all together. We're gonna do it. First one, number 19 is October in general. Number 20 is Halloween specifically, and number 21 is a crisp 61-degree day in mid-October while listening to 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins. If I could live forever, you heard of Peter Pan, right? He wants to live in Neverland forever. He never wants to grow up. I want to live in the month of October forever. Like if I met a witch, I would ask them to curse me so that I'm only alive in the month of October. I'm not even kidding. If I met a witch and they were like, you, I would beg them. They would be like, no. They're like, you can only be around during the month of October. I would start crying tears of joy and bowing and thanking them for their wonderful services. I might even get myself an Etsy witch and ask them to only let me be alive in the month of October, because there's everything. I love the weather. I love the smell in the air. I love the vibe. I love the holiday of Halloween. I love everything about it. I love the feelings that are attached to it. Everything is just so beautiful. Number 22 is Star Wars Episode 3, greatest movie ever. That's plain and simple, greatest movie ever. So if you want to hear more about that, you should go check it out. Number 23, Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man is fantastic. Number 24, Nike Elite socks. They shaped my childhood. The little neon Nike Elite socks made me feel like I was a baller. I used to wear those on the playground, and I thought all the bitches were drooling at the mouth. They were like, oh my God, look at him in his all black and one shoes. Highlighter, neon green, Nike Elite socks, bright orange shorts, and a cutoff that says go hard. I'd walk around and be like, the bitches want it. They dig it. The bitches dig it, man. Oh my God. Those Nike Elite socks, Those things they were revolutionary, dare I say. Listen, they might not have been they might not have been a correct choice in fashion, but they were the choice in fashion for every middle school boy during the time that I was a middle school boy, and it was beautiful. Everybody had the Nike Elites. It was the Nike Elite socks, the N1 shoes, the Nike Elite shorts, and then the cutoff with some like random saying on it that didn't even really make any sense, but Nike just threw it on there and they knew that we'd buy it because we're fucking capitalistic consumeristic pieces of shit. Nike's like, yeah, we know you like that shit. Nike just like threw Nike low key the way that they used to sell shirts, and they still do kind of, but honestly it was so big. Like anytime I went to Dick's with my mom when I was younger and we'd be walking past like the clothing aisle and stuff like that, and I'd see something with it would be like the shittiest it's like the shittiest made cutoff you've ever seen in your life, but then it said like just never give up because you're fucking hard, and I'm like, that's so sick. The bitches are gonna love this. Like, Ma, can I get this? Ma, the hoes are gonna die for this. Ma, the hoes are gonna love this shit on the playground. And they did. I was right. So I love those Nike Elite socks. Number 25, Paul Walker, because he's beautiful. That's really it. I was watching Fast and Furious recently. By the way, those movies are terrible. Do you know how bad I was? I took an edible. This was like a month ago. I took an edible and I threw on the Fast and Furious movies. And the entire time I was like, I could have wrote this better high. Like that's bad. When you're high and you think a movie's bad. And listen, not all of them. Like the 7th one's very good. The 1st one's pretty good. There's moments in it. But like I was watching the 5th one, which is objectively a good movie, right? Because just shit's blowing up. It was good. But like, I didn't know that it was like such a distinct heist movie where like I was waiting for them to look directly into the camera and like break the fourth wall and be like, we need you. Like it was Dora or something. Like I was waiting for Vin Diesel to look at me and go like, and now you're family. I'm like pointing at myself on the couch high as fuck. These are just me? I'm family? Now you're family. What? Me? That's what it was. Maybe I just wasn't expecting it and I didn't know, but it was a quintessential heist movie to the point where it felt like the way that they wrote the movie was somebody had an outline of like what a heist movie should look like, and they just filled in the blank. Like they were like, okay, so you got to get a team. And you have to announce that you need a team. And then you need to individually talk about each of these people as a team and the individual skill sets they have. Then you need to, and it was so, if you haven't seen it, or if you haven't seen it in a while, or you've never seen it, go watch the Fast Five. Go watch Fast Five, come back here, and you're going to be like, wow, yeah. It literally looks like they were reading off of an outline. That's the script sounds like they were like, what if we just Mad-libbed this and got The Rock? And they were like, that's brilliant. This will make $1 billion. And it did. They were like, what if we just ad-lib this, but got The Rock? And everyone was like, yeah, that should work. Yeah, no, that should work. And it did. And it fucking worked. And that's how I feel about the Fast and Furious movies and Paul Walker. Paul Walker's great. Number 26, Melman from Madagascar, the giraffe. He speaks to me on a spiritual level. I love how he's so concerned about everything. If you haven't seen it in a while, Melman is my spirit animal. Deep down. Deep down, I am a paranoid. I mean, you know me. I'm very anxious. I'm a parent. I'm pretty paranoid. And Melman sort of personifies that. And I love that. And I love who he is as a person. And I love that I remember the first Madagascar, he's like worried about his doctor's appointments and all his pills and all these different things. And he's such a hypochondriac. And Melman just speaks to me. And I love that about Melman. And I wanted to share. Number 27, the goldfish that you win at a janky fair that dies 3 days later. If you didn't have a pet growing up, now I did have a dog eventually when I was like 11 or 12. But when I was much younger, the fish at the fair, there's just something about it. Like when you got it, you knew it was going to die, but the moments that you shared together, the small slivers that you shared together, and like one of its eyes would be bigger than the other. And I didn't ask questions because I was like 5, 6 years old. And, nobody needed to ask questions about the man at the fair with like a lot of piercings and like a neck tattoo. And like and then he just like chucks the fish in a bag and he's like, get the hell out of here, kid. And I'm like, okay, sorry, sir. You know, and he's smoking cigarettes at his tent and he's not supposed to be. And I kind of want to say something because I'm coughing and I'm a child, but I'm just going to leave it alone. And something about that's just so sentimental. Just so sentimental. Guys, malnourished fish and secondhand lung disease. Isn't that just beautiful? Doesn't that just make you doesn't just remind you of your childhood? Number 28, caffeine. Can't live without it. It's so beautiful. I love it. Number 29 is Shia LaBeouf, specifically as Sam Witwicky in the Transformers movie franchise. He is my favorite crash out ever in any movie ever. The things I love how everything he also is spiritual to me. I feel like he is part of me. Like I have been like he's the only one in those Transformers movies that feels he makes those movies. He makes them. Without him, they're not that good. Number 30, Scooby-Doo TV series, specifically from 1969 to 1971. Those are the best. I argue with a wall. Though that was the best Scooby-Doo run. They did have a short run, I believe, in the early 2000s that was also pretty good that I watched, obviously, because that was my childhood. But, you know, still, the Scooby-Doo series from 1969 to 1971, I used to watch an episode every single night at 8 p.m. And then at 8:30, my dad would put my sister to bed because she was younger than me. This was when we were very young. And then at 8:30, I got to watch Dexter's Laboratory, and I kind of felt like a cool kid because I was like, this was like the adult show to me. I was like, Dexter's Laboratory was like the adult show, even though it was still a kid's show, but I felt like a big kid. I was like, yeah, I watched Dexter's Laboratory, like it's whatever. I would tell my friends at school, they're like, what? My parents don't let me watch that. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I sort of run the trap where I'm at. I'm sitting at the lunch table. I'm like, yeah, I sort of run the trap. Put on Dexter. I could do whatever the fuck I want over there. But yeah, the Scooby-Doo TV series from 1969, 1971. Love that. Number 31, Shigo, I think is how you pronounce it. The goth green character from Kim Possible. I was just really attracted to her, and I didn't know how to feel when I was very young. I kept putting on the show. I was like, I don't really like Kim Possible, but I like her. The show was fine. It was a fine show. It just wasn't one of my favorites. It was good, though. But honestly, I remember watching it, and then that girl came on the screen, and I was like, oh, I like that. And I'll never forget it. And I had to bring it up because it was just one of those things that crosses my mind. Number 32, my ADHD. Although I hate it and it's borderline ruined my life, I think it's also the reason why I'm able to do this show and why you guys like it so much. So I think we need to give thanks where thanks needs to be given. Number 33, my Nintendo Switch. It's incredible. That is the greatest piece of technology I ever purchased. It was the greatest piece of technology I ever purchased, which leads me into my next thing. Number 34, Drunk Mario Kart. That is the greatest thing ever. You get a couple friends together, you get hammered, and you play Mario Kart, change your fucking life. Will change your fucking life. Fuck a board game. Oh, you guys want to play cards? No. Get drunk, play Mario Kart. It's cathartic. It truly is. It's like a release. It's like, oh my God. It feels so good. It's so fun. It's so enjoyable. And I needed to write it down on this list. Number 35, Xanax, specifically to be taken on a flight. There's nothing better. There's nothing better than getting in that flying metal contraption and thinking to yourself, you know what? I don't think we should be up here, and I feel like we're testing God, okay? And then taking one of those little bad boys and then sitting in your chair and going, you know what? I don't even give a fuck if this landed in the fucking Pacific right now. I am at peace. I used to fucking hate getting on an airplane. I used to hate it. And then my doctor was like, what if you took one of these little bad boys, huh? You ever try one of these? I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, if you freak out on an airplane, you ever try one of these? Take a Xanax, then I get on my Nintendo Switch, and I'm like, oh my God. I don't even care if I lose every single level on this game. I don't care if they send this fucking plane deep into the Atlantic Ocean, and then I have to live on an island for the rest of my life. I am at peace. All right, number 36. I got this brick phone thing. I don't know if you guys seen it on Instagram. It was low-key like way too expensive for what it was. I think it was like $60, but it's like this little magnetic thing that you tap your phone on and it like bricks your phone. Essentially is what the point of it is, and it like doesn't allow you, like you put like different social media apps on there and then you can't use them unless you go and tap the thing. Turns out
I thought it wasn't really going to work, and they had a free 30-day money-back guarantee, so I was like, whatever. The free promo, by the way, I guess. But I got it, and I don't feel like I'm like super addicted to my phone, but I just feel like I would use social media unnecessarily. Like, there would be like random 30, 45-minute spurts where I'm like, let me just like look at this instead of like, I don't know, do anything productive in my free time right now. Like, let me just scroll through TikTok. And I didn't love that I was doing that. And so I got this thing, and I thought I would still just be like, oh, well, if I put it downstairs, I'll just walk downstairs, go tap my phone to it, and then watch TikTok. Turns out I'm actually too lazy to even do that, and that was the whole solution. And my social media screen time has been like less than 45 minutes every single day. If I'm not posting, I'm not even on it anymore, barely. It's like, it's helped so much. It's literally helped so much. I just look at stuff so that I'm in the loop. I know what's going on. I know everything that's happening, and then I get off. It is beautiful. I feel way better about myself. I feel way better about my phone habits. It turns out, like, I was like, I'm just going to probably walk downstairs. There's no way this is going to deter me. It did. I don't even care anymore. Like, it's downstairs. I'll click TikTok, and it'll be like, it's Brick. Please touch. I'm like, shut up. I don't even care. And then I just put my phone down. It's incredible. So if you don't have one of those, it works well. Number 37, movie theater popcorn. I don't know what kind of fucking crack is in that shit. Never in my life have I been home and thought, oh, wow, this popcorn's so much better than what it's so good at the movie theater. The movie theater makes popcorn with the sperm of an angel. Well, it was supposed to sound more appetizing and delightful, and it kind of just sounded like a crime. Anywho, number 38, Barnes & Noble, the only chain store keeping Amazon back a little. Every fucking month, I go into Barnes & Noble and I pay quadruple the price for the same book that I could have got on Amazon, but fuck Jeff Bezos. I go there. Listen, the mom and pop shops, yes. Do we have to keep them open? Yes, absolutely. The small bookstores. But at the same time, the only chain that's keeping up with the Amazon monopoly is Barnes and fucking Noble. So I'm in that bitch left and right trying to keep those fuckers afloat. I never thought that we would get to a point in society where I would be openly paying more, getting fucked on price, and trying to prop up a multi-million, possibly billion, I don't know how much money Barnes & Noble has, corporate business. That's how much I dislike Amazon trying to take over everything. I'm going to Barnes & Noble and I'm spending quadruple the price just to keep another company open. That's how much I dislike it. And I like 39. Anyways, number 39, cane sauce. I don't know what's in that sauce. Fuck chicken. I'll stick my wiener in there and suck it off. All right, maybe we should cut that out. I'm not going to lie. I'll stick somebody's foot in there and I would debate licking it off. That's how good that fucking sauce is. That's how good that sauce is. That's how good that sauce changes everything. That sauce could change anything. Somebody could lock me up in a cell somewhere and the only thing I'm allowed to eat is bull testicle. And they're like, but you get to eat it with cane sauce. Give me a whole jar of bull testicle and I'll suck them right down. Why was my own dick and bull testicle the first two things that I wanted to put it on? First two things that came to mind. Yeah, no, sure, Anthony. Yeah, no, good idea. Number 40, chicken Caesar wrap. Anytime I see it anywhere on a menu ever, it's like the rest of the menu goes blank, and that's the only thing I could see. It's tunnel vision on, there is something. Chicken Caesar salad? Yeah, fantastic. Chicken Caesar wrap? It makes my day every time. I don't know what's in that sauce. I think it's terrible for you, but I just love everything about it. I love a chicken Caesar wrap. And that's all I have to say about that. Number 1, OG bubble wrap. Okay? Listen. And I know what you're thinking. OG bubble wrap, the bubble wrap that you could pop. Okay? OG bubble wrap. You see the new bubble wrap? I don't know if you've seen it. It's like this. It's like all one piece. And like if you break one, it doesn't really matter. And it just lets the air out. And it's like one cohesive air thing. And it's not individual bubbles. Listen, if you're going to waste plastic and you're going to burn the planet to the ground, and by the time I'm 50, I'm going to be burning plastic in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and I don't even know where the water's going to be, and everything's going to be on fire, and it's going to be 195 in the middle of January, you could at least have the decency to give me bubble wrap that goes pop, 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 pop. I can't have a little joy. You're burning the planet to the ground, okay? And you're infiltrating it with millions and billions and trillions and quadrillions of plastic, little plastic. And you can't even let me enjoy this shit? You have to take that little ounce of joy away from me? That small sliver of freedom? That small sliver of hope? Now I get a box and it's like, oh, here's your bubble. No, it isn't. That's a sheet of air. That's a sheet. That's a sheet of air. That's not bubble wrap. At least when I'm popping that bubble wrap, I'm not thinking that this stuff isn't going to deteriorate and it's going to be deep in the dirt somewhere and it's going to sit in the earth and it's going to sit and it's probably going to kill animals on the way, but you can't even let me enjoy the little pop pop pop. You're taking away my little pop pop pop. That's sickening behavior. What else we got? Next up, number 42, Disney's Soul. I fucking love that movie. I've seen it about 20 times. You need to go watch it if you haven't. And I think it would have been one of their biggest movies ever if it didn't release during COVID only on streaming. I thought it was incredible. Jamie Foxx is fucking incredible. It's a fucking incredible movie. Go fucking watch that shit. I fucking love Soul. Number 43, 2000s conspiracy theories. I don't like the new ones, okay? Conspiracy theories used to be fun. In the 2000s, you'd hear them and you're like, that guy's crazy. Now they're in office and it's not as funny anymore. Okay? At first, it was like, that's funny. And then now some congressman from Tennessee is saying the same shit and it's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore. It used to be fun, right? Now, like flat earthers, that used to be fun. Now, I don't even think about them. I don't even think, like flat earthers used to bring us together. Like those shitty, stupid ass, fucking conspiracy theories that we used to have that were fun. Where they're like, that guy thinks the earth is flat and I was right. Me and this other person could disagree on absolutely everything and we're screaming at each other. Then some guy could walk by and go, hey guys, it doesn't matter. We're all on a floating disc. Ah! And then we would get together and we would make fun of this guy and we'd be like, listen, I hate you and you hate me, but this guy's a fucking idiot, isn't he? Let's not let him do anything in society because he's going to get us all killed. And we would come together and that's what humanity's about. But now the conspiracy theories have gotten so egregious and they're so fucking ridiculous that you can't even reason with people, right? And they're so fucking ridiculous, right? It went from like, oh, the earth is flat to like the lizards have infiltrated the Pentagon, but Trump was sent by God and he's going to save us from them all. Oh, no. That's not funny anymore. That's not funny anymore. Oh no, but the 2000s conspiracy theories, those used to be fun. Now they're just now they're not so fun. Number 44, male seahorses giving birth. I think about this about once a week. Male seahorses giving birth, I'm not going to lie. When I first heard that, I think I first heard it when I was like 6. Shattered my worldview. I didn't know what to believe anymore. Nothing was real. Because all I ever knew, right, you grow up and they shove, this was the early 2000s, they're shoving the gender norms in your face. This is 2005, 2006. You're like, woman have baby, woman take care of child, man take care of family. And it's like, very barbaric values. And I'm like, yeah, this is, of course, this makes sense, of course, right? I grew up religious. They are also indoctrinating me in that. So at the same time, I'm like, well, of course, God would have wanted it this way. And then I went to a science class and I was 6 years old and they're like, actually, the male seahorse gives birth. And I was like, well, then what even is gender anymore? That's when I started moving left on the political spectrum and I didn't even know it. They were like, well, male seahorses give birth. And I was like, well, then nothing matters anymore, does it? My whole worldview shattered. I was like, well, then nothing's real, is it? A male seahorse gives birth and you're worried about what? That's when all of a sudden I was like, why do they care about gay marriage? Male seahorses are giving birth. Anything is possible in this world. There's no, social or godly dynamics or social dynamics or the correct way. There is no correct way. The correct way is what you feel inside, motherfucker. And male seahorses made me feel that way. And I don't think a lot of people get to a progressive political place after learning about male seahorses giving birth, but I did. I was like 6 years old, and all of a sudden I had a I had such an open mind because, they try to indoctrinate, their religion tries to indoctrinate you. And they're like, well, this is how you do it. This is a certain way. And this is what God says. And then I'm 6 years old and I'm like, well, God gave this male seahorse the ability to birth a child. I don't think anything matters anymore. And I don't think there's any structure in society. Man with woman, who cares? Man become woman, woman become man become robot / gorilla / helic. I don't even care. I think it's all fantastic. I think it's all wonderful. And that's what I found it out when I was that little young whippersnapper, and I was like, male seahorses give birth? All of a sudden my mind was more open than Lincoln when he was at the theater. Sorry. But and I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, the world is full of endless possibilities. That's what did it. Now, obviously, it took a little more of, they tried to get me back in, tell me different things, but that was the first step where I was like, I feel like they're telling me things that aren't correct and they believe things that are wrong. And I was like, if the male seahorse can give birth, then anybody could do anything and anybody could be whoever they want to be and anything is possible. And the male seahorse is the reason for that. And I think I think so at the end of the day, I think we could all thank the male seahorse for where I am. Maybe, I don't know. All right, a few more here. Let's see. What do we got? We're at number 45, modern plumbing. I brought that up earlier. I don't know what I would do without it. I don't even like wearing my outside clothes on inside furniture. God bless modern plumbing. Number 46, exact measurements and recipes when I'm cooking. I think it's a gift from God. I fucking hate when somebody tells me, hey, could you use a... Just season to taste. Oh, well, I don't know what it's supposed to taste like, Bethany, because I've never actually even had this dish in my fucking life. So how about you give me an exact measurement? Exact measurements in cooking are a gift from God, and I love them. Number 47, Arbor Day. I think about it once a week, and I know I shouldn't, and I don't know why I do. It's like every week I wake up one day, and I'm like, the male seahorses give birth, and Arbor Day is a thing. Isn't that crazy? And then I go on about my day. Every week I wake up and I go, male seahorse birth child and Arbor Day exists. And that happens once a week. And it felt necessary to put it on the list. Number 48, that SpongeBob episode where it's the inside of his brain and everything is on fire and they're all freaking out and screaming at each other. I love that episode, and it makes me, gave me a window to what my brain feels like sometimes. And I love that about that. Number 49. Oh my God, I already said I put Shigo the Green Goth girl from Kim Possible again. I didn't know I did that. Oh, okay. Apparently I still think about her a lot. I put it twice on the list. Oh, number 50, Big League Chew. If you don't know what Big League Chew is, look it up. I just love it. They shred it up so that it looks like, like dip and stuff that, the old baseball players would put in their lip. And I love that they're marketing that to children. And that reminds me of a better time when companies, they didn't really care about marketing. Well, they still market vapes to children with the flavors and everything like that. But they didn't have to deny it back then, right? Like everybody knew. They're like, isn't it adorable? They packaged it up like drugs that adults use to make the kids want to use them when they're older, right? And I love that about that. And I loved that about that. Anyways, guys, 100th episode. We're going to end it there. I want this to go longer, but also it is Thursday. Things came late. And don't worry, we're going to blow this confetti off and I'm going to freak my dog out and he's not going to love it, but we have to blast one of these things off. Okay? Thank you so much for listening, guys. Rate, review, share with everyone you know. And 100th episode. Wow, what a milestone, everybody. And I'm so happy you were here. And last but not least, we're going to do 2 claps and a Ric Flair. But actually, we're going to do 2 claps and a confetti cannon. And I'm not going to want to clean this up after, but we're going to do it. Thanks so much for listening. Oh, God. Rate, review. 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Boom, boom. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Wow, that was fucking loud. Holy shit. God bless.